In anime, the most dangerous weapon isn't a sword or a titan, it's weaponized nostalgia. We call it the Golden Age myth, a perfect, shining dream of a past that never actually existed. While everyone talks about the complex master plans of anime's greatest villains, they're missing the most effective tool, a psychological scheme used to manipulate your sense of reality. From the Band of the Hawk's rise to power, to the real-world political myths of a greatest generation, we're exposing the dark psychology behind the world's most dangerous lie, and why no character weaponizes that lie better than the White Hawk himself, Griffith. For the entire Golden Age arc, Mayura tricks us. He dresses Griffith in gleaming silver and places him in grand balls, and we absorb it as nostalgia, the chivalry, the camaraderie, the dream of a perfect kingdom. That's the weapon being loaded, but Griffith didn't build that prestige, he exploited it. The eclipse isn't just a tragedy, it's the moment the mask slips. The Golden Age doesn't end because Griffith becomes evil. When a man whose entire identity is built on a lie loses the ability to wear the mask, he doesn't reflect, he just finds a darker mask, one that doesn't require him to pretend he was ever good at all. That manipulation wasn't just working on Casca, it was working on you. But while Griffith uses this myth to weaponize souls, Attack on Titan shows us what happens when it weaponizes an entire nation. Floch and the Jaegerists aren't just fighting for survival, they're rallying behind the ghost of a new Eldian empire. They're fueled by nostalgia for a past they were never taught. And the irony is that the Eldian Golden Age was a multi-ethnic nightmare of slavery and internal power struggles. It was a world built on the subjugation of the subjects of Ymir, not some noble racial purity. This isn't just a fictional trick, it's the oldest political con in the book. Those who obsess over a pure ancient Rome, they borrow the prestige of an empire that was actually a cosmopolitan superpower with emperors from Syria and North Africa, and they bleach it until it fits their modern narrative. When you tell a true believer that their Golden Age is a lie, they get furious, because without that myth, they're just another monster with a flag. But here's what Isayama doesn't let you off the hook for. Before you judged Floch, you were Floch. He made sure of it. And if Attack on Titan shows the nationwide lie, and Berserk shows the soul-crushing lie, then Vinland Saga shows us the only way out. Withdrawal. In season 1, we saw the ultimate Golden Age myth, Valhalla. That's the nostalgia. A warrior's paradise so beautiful, it makes murder feel meaningful. You didn't just watch Thorfinn chase it, you cheered for it. Season 2 is Yukimura making you reckon with that. It treats violence not as a heroic choice, but as a psychological addiction. Thorfinn isn't just sad, he's in detox. He has the intrusive memories, the emotional numbness, and the compulsive anger of someone whose entire identity was built on a violent lie. The most dangerous part of the Golden Age myth is that it requires an enemy. To be a hero, you need a villain to crush, but Thorfinn comes to a realization.
I have no enemies.
It's a peaceful quote, it's liberation. It's him realizing that if you define someone as your enemy, you've already let the myth win. Vinland Saga proves that the hardest part of the Golden Age isn't winning the war, it's figuring out who you are once the war is over and the mask is gone. Thorfinn had to lose everything to realize he'd been handed an enemy he never chose. The question is, who handed you yours? This Golden Age psychological trap isn't just a writing trope, it's a blueprint being used on us in the real world, right now. Popular culture romanticizes and whitens ancient history, and we absorb it as nostalgia before we even realize what we're consuming. Think of 300 turning the Battle of Thermopylae into a binary of white heroes versus brown barbarians. White nationalist communities then pick up that already distorted image and radicalize it further. White nationalist leader Richard Spencer called for the United States to become an all-white ethnostate, describing it as a new Roman Empire. But the irony is, emperors came from North Africa, Syria and Spain. The empire's ideology was about citizenship and power, not racial lineage. Just as the Eldian Empire was not the pure civilization they imagined. When Cambridge historian Professor Mary Beard simply pointed out the ethnic diversity of Roman Britain, she faced a torrent of aggressive insults. That rage isn't about history, it's the exact same psychological fracture we see in Floch. The identity requires the myth. It's the same rage Floch feels when Armin questions the glory of Eldia. It's the same fracture Griffith experiences when Guts leaves. It's the same emptiness Thorfinn feels when he realizes Valhalla was just a beautiful lie. The nostalgia was always the weapon. So the next time you watch an anime that sells you a Golden Age, whether it's the glory of Eldia, the chivalry of the Band of the Hawk, or the honor of Valhalla, ask yourself one question: who benefits from me believing this was real? Because the answer is rarely the people living in it, it's almost always the people selling you the myth.